5 times I've been wrong. Okay, I've been wrong more than 5 times, but these were the 5 times that shocked me the most. Number 5, this word is pronounced hyperbole. Look at that word. How would you pronounce that? Hyperbole, right? Well, I was a mad reader. I read all the time, and I'd never actually heard that word said out loud. I knew what it meant, but that's the way it was in my head. And I chose the first time to speak it out loud for an English class in high school to say hyperbole. Well, I found out right away that it's hyperbole. Well, it shouldn't be. Number 4, I'm going to have the best roommate at Fresno State ever. When I was a sophomore at Cal Poly, I realized that I had to change schools to complete my degree. I wanted to major in physical therapy, and there were very few schools that had physical therapy programs, so I decided to go to Fresno State, which really was just kind of over the hill. I had never been there. So I was like, well, where am I going to live? How do I do that? And I decided that I want to be in an apartment, not the dorms. I was ready to grow up and be off campus. So I went to their orientation, which was over spring break, and just hit it off with this girl who was going to be majoring in physical therapy too, and just bubbly and warm and just a great personality. It was great. I go, this is going to be a fantastic roommate. So at the end of the summer, threw all my stuff in my parents' van and trucked over until I got to Fresno, and then unloaded all my stuff in the apartment. And my roommate wasn't nearly so bubbly. She was fine, and her boyfriend was there, which is fine. Well, I didn't realize I'd fallen into the classic situation where her boyfriend's there all the time. And I'm just like, this is just a girl's place, right? And my bedroom door faced the bathroom door, and on more than one occasion, we would like open doors at the same time, and there her boyfriend would be with like sort of half dressed, and me like, trying to get out of my room into the rest of the apartment. And I realized that she was very cold. She ended up being just very cold. I don't know, maybe she had boyfriend problems, but she was not the person I met over spring break, not at all. And I went, I'm gonna have to get out of here. And she just turned really, really mean, scary mean. And in the meantime, I'm crying every day home to my mother, just the worst homesickness you can imagine. Fresno is so different. Fresno is not like San Luis Obispo. Well, of course it's not. That's how you learn the hard way. So I told my roommate that I was going to move. I was going to move back into the dorms on Fresno State's campus. And she was just really, she was not happy at all. So we were disagreeing about bills. And I said, well, I'm not going to pay the deposit unless you pay the phone bill. And she said, I'll get your ass and beat your face in if you don't. And I scooted out there as fast as I could, headed to the dorms, met my roommate Kim, and had the best time from there on out, but she terrified me. Oh my goodness. I've never misjudged a person so much. Just part of, how old was I? 19, learning the hard way. So I was wrong about her, and I avoided her for the next 2 years, and she didn't get into the physical therapy program. So there. Number 3, 7th graders are awful, scary little pre-people. What is the most reviled by culture in general grade level? It's got to be 7th graders. There's something about the thought of 7th graders that terrifies just about everybody. They seem like they're going to be rude, and they're going to be naive, and they're going to be one-dimensional, and they're going to be pranksters, and they're just going to be out to give you a hard time. And I will tell you a secret that most teachers who train to teach in junior high really fear that grade level. Like, I'm just a new teacher. What if they don't do what I say? I mean, how do I manage them? Well, you learn how to manage 7th graders. But here's what I learned. 7th graders are amazing. They are the most authentic, genuine, pure truth tellers of any grade there is. And I have a special appreciation for them. They wear their hearts on their sleeve. They will tell you quite broadly what's right and wrong with the world and what's right and wrong with you. If you have a sense of humor and you can roll with it and understand that they are just being genuine, that they mean it, They don't understand hurt feelings. They learn a lot about hurt feelings by the end of 7th grade. By the time they're in 8th grade, you can feel them. They've kind of pulled in their cards a little bit. Everything's a little more refined. But having those 7th graders charge in fall of the school year and just watch them grow tremendously, sometimes at your expense, is a thrill I enjoy every single school year. Number 2, Oregon is California North. In 1990, my parents moved their business from Arroyo Grande, California, to Glendale, Oregon. And my whole life, I had been told and trained to understand that I was a 5th-generation Californian. And for them to move from California to Oregon was a big shock. And my little family, my former husband and my 1-year-old son and I, we kind of bounced around a lot of areas of California, mostly the Bay Area, mostly the Central Coast, and thought, well, they're in Oregon, let's check out Oregon. California, I mean, it's like California North, right? Oregon is just California North. No, it's not. Found out the hard way. Californians have this attitude, this arrogant, dominant, we're the best, we're creative, we're gorgeous, we've got diversity, we've got landscape, and everything should be like California. We still kind of feel like that. So in Oregon, there's not that attitude. Oregonians are nice people, beautiful landscape, but it's like, well, where's the California buzz, right? No. We made it about 4 months, and then we out of there. Boom. Out to Shasta County, where I've been in Redding for 30 years. And so glad to be back. Love California. Here I come, here to stay. Number 1, physical therapy is the perfect career for me. When I was a kid, my parents subscribed to the Time Life Science Library books. And they were these big, glossy, gorgeous books with big pictures and lots of text about all things science. The universe, the body, growth, light, hearing, matter. I just loved those books. So I always knew as an adult that I wanted to do something sciencey. And I thought about medicine for a while. I didn't want to be a nurse. I thought about being a doctor, but it seemed like too hard to be a doctor. And then I heard about physical therapy when I was at Cal Poly, and I thought physical therapy was this. Here's a condition, here's a disease, right? Here's a problem, and you learn the recipes and you cure people. That is not what it is. So I went to physical therapy school under these illusions, and physical therapy school was so hard. Oh my goodness. Why do they make it so hard? They just wear you down to a nubbin. I'm sure med school is the same, nursing school is the same. They just make it really overwhelmingly difficult. I suppose it's partly a screening process, weed people out, but man, was it hard. So I come out of physical therapy school thinking I'm going to cure people, right? I've got all the goods. No, it is a lot of management. There's a lot of psychological overlay that you learn, people who have mental conditions you don't understand as a new grad, people who have just had a hard life, and it exhibits in these conditions and diseases that you're never going to fix. So I recognized early on that physical therapy wasn't going to be where my heart was. And the physical therapy, there are 2 types of physical therapy. There's physical therapy that's acute, that's disability-based. It's getting people up out of bed, getting them up and going, getting them mobilized out back in the world. That physical therapy to me has value. The physical therapy that's outpatient, that relies a little on shake and bake, a little stab in the dark, a little guess here and there, I don't think that physical therapy has nearly as much value. I have 2 friends in the last 6 months who approached me about going to physical therapy. They had certain conditions, and I'm like, well, I can give it a try. They both came out of there after like one session, went, that made me feel a lot worse, and they didn't go back. It's physical therapy's dirty little secret. There's a lot of guesswork, a lot of expensive guesswork. So lucky for me, I found my true calling as a music teacher, made a career change kind of over 10 years or so, and now I'm exclusively a music teacher. Dropped my PT license like 15 years ago, and I'm much happier, and so are my patients. Today is day 22,451. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.